Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mickey Mouse here once again, and I'm back for some more of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Sonic and the Secret Rings for the Nintendo Wii. So last time we actually did tackle through by the forms of both of those worlds, both Dinosaur Jungle, and in addition to able to obtain ourselves the Green World Ring, and also we did manage to explore for the Evil Foundry for just only for one mission. And also we managed to return back into the forms of Sand Oasis to deal with a head-to-head mission, and able to actually bump into ourselves Alibaba for the second time. And that's what I can really say about this other than that. So yeah, today for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, though, is the fact that we're going to be taking on the new world in this game, and that was the forms of the Levitated Ruin, which appears to be somewhere that takes place out of skies, so a floating hole of the dead. So, yeah, that's how it usually describes about this particular world itself. And, since we're not going to be going back into the forms of the Evil Foundry for quite a long while now, because you know how the fact that we can't deal with the forms of, well, we've already come across into the forms of, like, the Ifrit and stuff, but we cannot deal with him because we cannot fight fire with fire, because we need to able to obtain something once we're able to actually proceed to this particular future onwards throughout the game. So, anyways though, obviously first objective we're going to be doing with right there is the forms of go for the goal mission. And the objective in this mission is to able to find Sinbad. And then once we deal with that, then we can able to actually who's actually going to be, you know, cosplay as Sinbad. So, anyway though, so here's our Levitated Ruin. It's basically we're going to be taking place in outer skies and stuff like that. So the basic gimmick with this particular level's gimmick is concerned is the fact that we need to deal with the wind. And then every time the wind starts to come by, the wind will blow you back. So even then though, you have to keep your speed going until you're able to actually just to proceed onto the next sections throughout, mainly by the forms of this part. Because if we go towards that particular opening gate, you probably realize how the fact that the switch has already been active. And then, in order to actually just bypass it, you can either just speed things up, or you can able to actually perform the speed break, like I just performed right there. I think there's a reason why we should probably use the speed break by the forms of after completing the Evil Foundry's first mission, just because of how the fact that it should probably give your journey a little bit more comfortable, and even then though, you should probably breeze for them, no problem, if you know what you're doing. So, that's what I can say about this for this point here. So, anyways, let's jump from rail to rail. Yo, already know, Shara. So, anyways, if you go up here, and if you manage to activate that switch over there, you get yourselves the first Fire Soul, if you want to be very curious to collect those. Now, the second Fire Soul is going to be hidden in here. Now, remember how the fact that, I don't know if you noticed for this point, ever since in Dinosaur Jungle mission, in the forms of in Die Hard Challenge, sometimes in some Fire Souls can be very well hidden, and sometimes in order to actually get occasional Fire Souls is the forms of how the fact that that's how time break actually works. By the fact that you need to actually press the control pad down until you're able to actually slow down time. So, even then though, that might be very helpful in some of these bosses, specifically when we get to the very end of the game, which I'm assuming for this matter. But even then though, we're probably not going to get into more details onto that as soon as we're able to continue exploring Levitated Ruins. So, anyways though, some people usually get frustrated with this level though, just because of how the fact that the wind is constantly blowing you back. Even for this part, for instance, and even then, as long as you're able to actually extend your homing attack for a little bit, for the forms of that specific technique you could perform, screw it, I'm just gonna have to use Speed Break. So, because of that though, I think the, extend, or expand, ability that extends the homing attack, or extends the range of the homing attack and stuff like that, that could be very helpful though, in this level though, because if you cannot reach into the enemy itself, then I suggest you do that, in case if you don't want to, like, you know, just keep on getting blown back by the wind. I remember that one time back in June in 2014, by the way, about the fact that even though it's no longer there anymore, but I've managed to stumble across in this very, very odd glitch I've encountered in the forms of this particular sections like this. I think it's most likely because I seem to almost try to able to get hit by the missile and stuff like that. And as a result, and then if I manage to get hit by the missile from that specific section right here, and then for some reason I'm just able to actually keep on getting some collisions there. which is kind of odd, but I don't come across into that anymore. So anyways, speed break time. As far as I already know, the enemy's trying to zip right through my... I don't know what do I think about for the time being, but I digress. So, I guess, you know, there's not much else to talk about for this video, ladies and gentlemen, other than we have still no luck of the Nintendo Direct just yet, other than with that stupid earthquake that's been happening during almost a week ago for this point now, which still I was very disappointed about that, which even though that can entirely ruin my day, so that I digress. So anyways, I believe we're almost nearly towards the end of the level actually, in this case in this mission for right now, because just like in the forms of Starlight Carnival from the forms of Sonic Colors, and even especially noticeable in Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, which is the forms of the Galactic Parade, basically you can actually travel along with the forms of the actual beam-lighted road and stuff, which even then though, that it kind of reminds me of that particular those two levels by the way, because even then though, that does look very cool and, you know, all that jazz. So, anyways though, so obviously in this particular part, it's just completely autopilot, and that's all you have to expect in so. But obviously we do need to avoid those missiles, because obviously, sometimes every single missiles will attempt to follow you, which even then though, that expecting including for that loop-to-loops by the way, which, yeah, basically it's not that hard to deal with right there, so. I will say though, is that out of all the music in this game, honestly, I think Levitated Ruin theme might actually be one of my favorite ones, because even then, well, first of all, I don't think this song is going to be vocals this time around though, and especially noticeable how the fact that it fits the atmosphere very nicely to me though, and overall some not bad looking music there. I'm assuming this music is actually chord. I do notice they have some of these themes, even though I've already mentioned about the fact that they've got Let It Speed Mended from Sand Oasis, and we've got The Wicked Wild from Dinosaur Jungle, and Who's Gonna Rock the Place from Evil Foundry. I'm presuming in this one it's I lost track of myself of what the actual music is called now. I really do apologize for that point, folks. But anyways, now we're done with that, and we've managed to finally found Sinbad. And we can able to tell which character actually represents that. So first of all, we got sub M grind, maximum grind speed increases, but guarantee consumes rings, so I'm probably not gonna use that. Balance, automatic recover after taking damage. Alright, seems pleasant enough, but even then though, yeah, that's what I can tell.
Hey, Knuckles! How'd you get here?
I am Sinbad of the Seven Seas, adventurer of adventurers. Who the heck are you?
Oh, Sinbad, it truly is you, the great adventurer. Would you be willing to give us some of your worldly wisdom?
Hey, Miss,
Shara.
Shara. Listen, I hate to break it to you, but I'm kind of stuck here. You're the ones who should be helping me.
I feel a strong magical force here. It must be the work of the Eraser Djinn, which means if we can break the spell, we can undo this lock.
Now you're talking. That's the ticket, Shara.
Come on, Shara. Let's just leave him there.
Hey, listen, Hedgehog. Life's a game of give and take, see? You help me get out of here, and in return, I'll help you out later. Not a bad deal, huh?
Wisdom? Knuckles? Ah, never mind. Come on, let's find that key.
And yes, Sinbad was actually known for as Knuckles the Echidna, so as you might expect it because of the actual visual details and stuff like that. So, anyways though, first of all, let's go ahead and deal with Rampage first, and the entire mission itself is going to be basically we need to defeat just one enemy. Why one enemy? Well, we'll never know as soon as we're able to actually proceed to this particular mission itself, obviously for this factor, and that's all I can tell. So, Although, first things first though, I need to back up a little bit and able to get ourselves not only with these 2 fire cells, although I'm probably not going to get the other one though, because I'm actually going to skip that for the time. So, even though I'm mostly cared about the first one, which is back there, and the second metal, or in this case the second fire cell, is going to be all the way up. So, there we go. And that was my fault. Yeah, that's my fault there. Whoops. Oh, jeez. I have no idea why I keep on thinking about that, because even then, although I did not realize, I forgot to able to activate the power reset, didn't I? But even then, no, I'm also able to equip that until in the later missions down the road, but at the moment, though, I'm probably not going to equip that just yet, so... Anyways, though. Yeah, no medal today. Oh well, no big deal. And I apologize for that little awkward, silence going on right there in the background for commentary-wise, just because, well, you just had lots to read. So, anyways, though, let's move on now into the special challenge, and basically in this one, we need to open up, Sinbad's cage. See, Fernando, that we can able to actually let Sinbad free. So, in fact, I might as well able to equip my power reset right now, until everything else will happen, so everything else will be sorted. So, yeah, not too shabby for the most part, so... Alright, let's get into it. I believe we could only do with, open up the actual keys themselves like 4 times, so... it's not too much of a big of a problem for me, though. Unlike in some people, they do have some trouble sometimes. Mainly in the forms of how the fact that this mission is entirely focused on is the forms of 2D perspective sometimes. Well, most notably in during the tower sections at times, which even then, that makes it very obvious for this point here. So, yeah, let's get to it. So, yeah, apart from that though, you know, not much else to talk. So, anyways though. So obviously in this mission right there, so obviously we need to go through these towers like 4 times in the separate sections. So the first section's not too bad though, but even then, the only thing you need to worry about though is the forms of too many obstacles in your way, like the forms of the homing missiles coming from above, especially with that particular cage, as you can see right there. This just keeps on going down. And I think this might be something to do with like switch to activate for, or maybe you need to have a quicker time before you're able to proceed, because if you do not make it, then I don't know how I can able to describe that, because I don't think I've ever come across into that issue there, so yeah, it seems rather pointless to talk about for that point. So, and as you can see, we actually transported back into the very beginning of the mission, means you're gonna have to do like a second tower and a third tower and eventually the 4th tower at the very end. And because of that, we need to able to, you know, destroy all 4 of those little lock pads for, well, Sinbad. And then once we're able to actually open up all 4 of those locks, then we can able to actually completely done with the mission. So, yeah. Here's the most gimmicky about this particular section sometimes, and now we have to be swinging from vine to vine sometimes. I don't know about me, but I'm pretty sure I've managed to able to deal with this at some point or another, but sometimes, again, 2D perspective can get pretty, you know, difficult sometimes, because even then, if you think about tilting left or right can get pretty tricky at times in 2D perspective, whilst in forms of it's very, very easy to deal with in the 3D mode. But in a 2D perspective though, it can be very awkward sometimes, I will admit though right away. But anyways though, we got 2 more to go with these little switches. So even though we've actually gone through 50% left before we're able to success for this mission. So, again, not too bad if you know what you're doing, but again, if you have a first time playing for this game though, you're gonna have to give you some lot of troubles with this though, so... Anyways though, let's dodge these little fire genies and stuff, and especially with those little spinny genies right there. And sometimes it can be very unpredictable to dodge though at times. And yeah, not much to come by from, so anyway. Alright, let's back up a little bit, and back up a little bit until we're able to activate the switch to able to get inside this particular 3rd tower. So even then though that we could able to actually just to scale up a little bit. And yeah, that's what I can come across for that. So anyways though, we get some more pearls, but in forms of, you know, trying to able to activate those treasure chests and whatnot. And yeah, if you want to able to get that fire soul from from this section here, basically we need to activate the switch from the center of these 2 spike balls, and then as soon as you are done with that, then you instantly grab yourselves the second fire soul, so it's not too bad though. So, it turns out that the forms of, you know what I mentioned this before about the fact that it's very, well, hard to able to actually recognize the actual songs of what they're actual called, or what their songs actually called. It turns out that Levitated Ruins music is actually known as Higher and Broken because, well, first of all, we're in higher in the skies, and as for Broken, I don't know what can I describe about that, but even then, well, I was essentially trying to able to actually just make things up for a bit, so basically in this part right there, just dodge the missiles and that's all you have to do. So, again, not too complicated, not too difficult either, so... Anyways though, I'm gonna have to fling myself into this point right here, and because of that, I need to get my, well, the fire soul right there. I know I've missed out the other one though, one is actually quite awkward to get, because, I did try to test that out on my own time, but it's very awkward to get, because sometimes if I was hoping I can able to drop down from it, but next thing you notice is how the fact that I always try to able to hang on to the forms of the swinging vine sometimes. That will have to be is by far the most awkward fire soul to get through because, well, I just never seem to able to get that from my own time. In fact, I couldn't even bother to able to get the fire souls, I will admit though right away, other than some other party unlockables and all that stuff, like most notably unlockable characters, unlockable minigames, and especially with the forms of the extreme difficulty, and also by the forms of the next hidden mode and stuff. So anyway, if you hit the spring on the left, then that should lead us to at the very end. So finish. Yeah, I don't know why I say that because of that Mario Party announcer. So, but this is not a party game. Well, it does have a party mode, but not any forms of the adventure mode. So there we go, we rescued Sinbad, a top-notch gold medal. How about that? Alright, not bad. So, yeah, did that not too much of an issue there, and we've actually leveled up to level 16. And level 17 as well, so yeah, double the level ups then. Landing dash, initially speed increases when landing. Cancel dash, when landing off a jump cancel, your initial speed increases. I'm not sure about that one though, I think I might not to use that. Fire gaze, increase attack power when performing jump cancel, I think I should probably equip that. And turbo jump, increases flight speed when using a jump dash. I think I should probably equip that. Sub-S barrier, increase soul gauge as rings are used, but defense greatly decreases, but I'm probably not going to use that. And we've unlocked the new world, which is called Pirate Storm, so yeah, very simple, hey? Just very simple and done with. Oh jeez, 3 missions in a row?
Whew, okay, so about the fire genie then. Why not just try splashing some water on him?
Wow, the wisdom of Sinbad of the 7 Seas, the adventurer of adventurers.
Hey, I don't see you coming up with any better ideas.
Stop it! The problem is, how are we going to get enough water to put out a fire genie, right?
Oh, I was getting to that. You see, the pirates who locked me up here took the water blue ring I use to control storms.
A water blue
Ring.
First a fire genie and now pirates, huh? The Arabian Nights really are worlds of endless adventures, aren't they?
Wait a minute, you didn't even tell me about the fact that the Arabian Nights does have a pirates in it. I'm not exactly sure on that one though, but even then though, compared to Aladdin though, they don't have pirates though, I don't think, because, well, I just don't know what to think about for the time, so... But yes, if you probably do not know, it's the fact that Sinbad, he used to be the legend of the 7 Seas, which, that's probably true, because based off from the forms of, like, some of like a tale, and also a DreamWorks movie did manage to came out in 15 years ago in 2003, which is kind of odd, but at least, as far as I did seen it, it's alright, but I mean the CGI models on these little creatures is really out of place, I will admit though right away with the CGI animations and stuff. But everything else is as you expected. It's all in 2D animation, which I do like. But it's just the way with the actual CGI movements, especially with how quality they look. Oh, it just looks out of place sometimes. But I digress. So we're not exactly done with this world yet, because I figured there might be two other missions we're gonna have to tackle through. Like, first of all, we need to deal with don't get defeated right there, and I just keep on getting owned by that spiked ball from the ceiling, or in this case from the highest floor. That's pretty unfair. Unless there's actually another route that we can able to take. Well, actually before we get to this, however, though, I need to, well, simply concentrate for this point here. So, I believe this usually takes place in the exact same location as the special challenge mission, and it usually takes place in the forms of the third tower, in the forms of the open Sinbad's cage and stuff. I think that's how it usually represents from it, so... Oh wow, that was pretty good. And not only do you get yourselves the fire soul from here, but also we get ourselves 60 rings in total, because if you manage to get those silver rings, you get 20 rings each, so that should be pretty worthwhile. And as usual, silver medal. I don't mind silver medals, honestly. So yeah, not too bad though. Even though it only took me like 2 attempts on that mission though, just because, wow, I accidentally died on that particular mission itself, most notably because of those spiked balls. Just managed to pop up like nothing else. Alright, so let's do one last mission in Levitated Ruin, because after all that, then we might actually get something for once. Well, usually from ever since enjoying the likes of, excuse me, in Sand Oasis that we deal out with the forms of Sand Scorpion, that we've actually claimed ourselves the Yellow World Ring, and especially notable with the forms of, in Smash 5 Genie X in Dinosaur Jungle, which gives us the Green World Ring, and no luck of the forms of the third one, so I wonder which one is the third World Ring that we can get. So even then though, we'll might as well see what happens until we're able to actually dish out as many of those enemies, and as you expected, we need to defeat 20 of them. And let's just go back here, because there's a fire soul just right here. It can be very easy to miss though if you have the first time playing the game, if you do not care about fire soul collecting. And for those of you, if you want to be very curious about, you know, trying to able to unlock everything, like the forms of just collecting fire souls in general and stuff, then, you know, you can definitely tell by the stimulations and stuff. In fact, this is actually a very easy level that you can get yourselves a gold medal in this level. I think in order to actually deal with this is the fact that once you get to this particular tower in general, that if you keep on falling off, there's actually a way that you can able to actually let the enemies respawn. So you can then know that if you want to like, oh wow, why do I do that right there? Although thankfully though, I do not come across into a glitch or anything like that. Well, at least as far as I've noticed something like that. But anyways though, I'm really gonna miss this world though, to be honest, because even then though, I found the music in this world is simply enjoyable to listen to. You already know that, because yes, as you can see, that some of these hoops, not only does it usually react to the exact same thing as the normal hoops, this time around though it actually has spikes on them. And basically in order to actually just hop into the actual another side or another, when the actual spikes gets closer to you, it's your chance to able to flick the wheel modes until you move on to the next hoop. Because if you don't do that in time, then you're probably gonna get hurt and you might as well fall off to the actual pit below. So just be very careful. And actually, we're actually going back in here, and there's the third and final soul just right there. So yeah, getting these fire souls is not too much of a big of a deal. It's not much else to discuss other than if you really know where they are. So, and as usual, we're going back into the actual area itself. In fact, it's actually in the loop. So that way, the enemies do respawn, luckily though. So you can then know that expecting you might be thinking about the fact that, oh, is it over already? Oh jeez, I must have failed the mission. Well, turns out, thankfully though, this arena itself is actually a lot smaller. So you can then know that you can able to actually go as many times as you want, unless if you're missing on something. So, there we go. Do we actually unlock something? Speed up. Maximum speed increases. So I definitely need to equip that. So, I think that pretty much wraps it up from here.
Man, there's just no end to these evil spirits, is there?
That's
It must be another one of the 7 world rings.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Okay. All right. Just touching it makes me feel like I've got a whirlpool of emotion spiraling around inside me. I can't even begin to imagine what having all 7 rings would do to someone. It might even open the gates of hell.
Sonic. Here.
Huh?
I want you to hold on to this.
Okay. What is it?
If nothing else we do is able to stop him, this will be our final resort.
Shara?
I cannot use it by myself.
So now we've got ourselves the 3rd world ring, known as the forms of the blue world ring. So yeah, that pretty much does it with Levitated Ruins. So, anyways though, we got the ending stuff for this point right there, so join me next time on Let's Play Sonic and the Secret Rings for the Nintendo Wii. Is the fact that we're going to be taking on to the forms of, let's just say, world number 5, and that's the forms of Pirate Storm. So, see you guys next time for that. Later, fellas.